Hello and welcome to my channel. In this section of the video, we are going to cover 10 practice questions that you should expect to have gone through before you take your PMP exam. So these are the practice questions which I've also created. However, my extra effort was to link these specific practice questions to pages or sections in the PMBOK edition 8, where you can also go and make reference in case there are some weak areas you've discovered as you practice. You can also make reference to the PMBOK, and then you can also get some explanations. So these 10 practice questions, they are also helpful because we are going to cover the question, and then we are also going to cover the answer, and then we are also going to make a reference to the PMBOK 8th edition, which is the current version, where you are going to be able to go through the concepts, the ideas, the domain, and also the process groups. So these 10 questions, they are going to be a mixture of easy, hard, and very hard questions. But I believe the moment you go through them, the moment you understand the concept of eliminating some of these answers, the better for you as you go to as you go to your PMP exam. So let's move on. So practice question number 11. Okay. The budget baseline has been approved. What should the project manager do during execution? So what is our issue here? The budget baseline has been approved. Okay. So we consider the difficulty to be easy on this one. So let us go through the answers now. Monitor and control project finances against baseline. Okay, makes sense. The baseline has been approved here. Stop tracking cost because approval is complete. You don't stop tracking cost, especially during execution, so thereby eliminating this answer. Spend contingents without analysis. You cannot spend things without analyzing, especially the impact and the side effect. So we can eliminate this answer straight away. Allow each team member to create a separate budget. Okay, this one makes sense. Let's see. Now let us eliminate. We are left with 2 of these answers. Monitor and control project finances against the baseline. So this is a baseline which has been approved, and now we are controlling the baseline. And then on D, allow each team member to create a separate budget. So this is not linked to the baseline. So obviously we are going to eliminate this, making A the best answer in this scenario. So A is the best answer. Monitor and control project finances against the baseline. Okay, so which domain are we covering? We are covering finance and performance domain in PMBOK on page 58. Okay, so what does it say? The finance domain covers financial planning, estimating cost, developing budgets, monitoring, and also control of project finances. Okay, so this is what we are getting from our PMBOK. So in terms of mindset also that we are using to eliminate this, as we have seen, you need to control finance transparently and also compare performance to the plan. So this is an approved baseline. Approved baseline is where your plan is coming from. So you have to make sure that you are controlling against that. Making A the best answer, because approval budgets, they still need active monitoring and also control throughout the project. Making A the best answer. Okay, practice question number 12. A project has fixed deadline and several uncertain features. Okay, what development approach may be appropriate? So you need to look at the development approach. This is what we are looking for. And what is the issue here? It has got fixed deadline and several uncertain features. So which means our timeline is fixed, and we have so many uncertain features. So let us now go through the answers. The difficulty level here is still is easy. Okay. So a hybrid approach that plans fixed elements, adapts certain features. Okay, makes sense. A random approach without planning. You don't do random approach. There is no development approach called random approach. So we can eliminate this one straight away. A fully predictive approach with no change allowed. So you have seen that there are also uncertain features here. Okay. So obviously a predictive approach is not going to work because the features have to be known, or the scope has to be known upfront. So we eliminate this one straight away. No approach until uncertainty is removed. You are not going to do any development approach. So this is also going to delay the project. Eliminating this answer straight away. So making A the best answer in this scenario. So a hybrid approach that plans fixed elements and also adapts uncertain features. So hybrid, in this case, it's most likely going to be a combination of predictive and also agile. So predictive is going to address the fixed deadline, okay? And then adaptive or agile is going to address the uncertain features that we have here, making A the best answer. So what is our reference here? Project lifecycle, page 57 up to 73 on the PM book. What does it say? The life cycle section explains predictive, adaptive or agile, and also hybrid, and how focus areas apply differently depending on the project context. So the option to go for agile or to go for predictive, it also depends on the project context. In this case, hybrid is the best. So what other mindset did we use to eliminate some of these questions? You need to choose an approach that fits the product and uncertainty. And in this case, only predictive was not going to help here, and also agile was not going to help. Therefore, we decided to go for hybrid, making A the best answer because hybrid delivery can also combine both control of fixed and also adapt to evolving features, making A the best answer. Practice question number 13. A stakeholder is highly influential but has low current engagement. What should the project manager do? Okay, so the difficulty also here is considered easy. So what is our problem statement? The stakeholder is highly influential but has low current engagement. So the issue is the stakeholder is very influential but the engagement is also very, very low. So what should the project manager do? Okay, so let's go through the answers now. Develop a targeted engagement strategy. Okay, makes sense. You're targeting specific stakeholders. Ignore the stakeholder because they are quiet. So one of the mindset is never ignore any stakeholder. Engage the stakeholder, understand what they need, and then also plan the engagement. So eliminate this one straight away. Remove the stakeholder from the register. Removing the stakeholder from the register does not resolve the problem. And you should not remove stakeholders from the register. If they are no longer required, you just make sure that you also flag them as not required, but you don't remove them. So therefore, we eliminate this. Then number D, communicate only at project closure. This cannot be done. Communication must be done throughout the project. So thereby eliminating this answer straight away, making A the best answer in this scenario. So you need to develop a targeted engagement strategy. Why are you targeting? Because this is a very influential stakeholder. It means they have impact. Their decisions or their behavior can make or break the project. So you need to have a targeted engagement with them. Since at the moment their current engagement is very low, so you need to target them in terms of engagement. So what is our reference here is stakeholder performance domain, okay, in our PM book. What does it say? The stakeholder domain emphasizes identifying stakeholders, planning engagement, communicating, managing engagement, and also monitoring engagement and communication. So what was the mindset that we also used to eliminate some of these questions is you plan engagement based on influence, interest, and also the needs. So this is exactly what we have in this particular practice question. A stakeholder is highly influential but has low engagement. So you need to plan for engagement, making A the best answer because influential stakeholders, they require deliberate engagement or targeted engagement, even when they are not vocal. This is very, very important, making A the best answer. Sorry. All right. Practice question number 14. A project team is reportedly waiting for decisions. What should the project manager clarify? Okay. So the difficult level also is here. A project team is repeatedly waiting for decisions, which means they're not able to make decisions. So let us go through the answers now. The decision-making model and the governance path, okay, makes sense. You want to clarify as a project manager, what should you clarify here? That is the question. So our problem statement is there is a repeated waiting for decisions, okay, from the team. So number B, the team personal hobbies. This is not going to help in decision making, okay? So thereby we eliminate this one, our mindset. The color of the project logo. This also does not help in any way. I don't know if someone is going to choose an answer like this one. So we eliminate this one straight away. The number of slides in the final report. The team is not deciding. So if you give them the number of slides, it doesn't help them in any way. So this does not solve the problem. So that's the mindset that we use, making A the best answer in this scenario. The decision-making model and governance path is what you should clarify as a project manager. What decision model are you using? What is the governance path that we are using to this? So what is our reference to our PM book? Is governance performance domain, okay? This is our reference. What does it say? The governance domain supports alignment, okay? Accountability, decision path, performance, monitoring, assessing, and also implementing changes through the governance model or mechanism. So what mindset did we use here? Clarify accountability and decision rights. So the problem here is the team is waiting for decisions. Okay, so you need to clarify accountability and also decision path on this. Making A the best answer because clear governance reduces delays. Okay, caused by unclear authority. So this is very important. Making A the best answer. Practice question number 15. A deliverable does not meet the acceptance criteria. What should the project manager do? So what is our problem statement? We have a deliverable which is not meeting acceptance criteria. Okay. So let us go through the answers now. Record the gap and work with the team to correct it. Okay. So deliverable does not meet. Okay. So there's a gap here. Okay. We'll leave this one for now. Ask the customer to accept it anyway. You don't force customers to accept deliverables. You base your deliverable on acceptance criteria from the customer. So we eliminate this one straight away. All right. Hide the defect until closure. This is one of the ethics from project manager. You should not hide anything, okay, in a project. This is not ethical. You should be transparent. So thereby eliminating this answer straight away. Remove the acceptance criteria. As a project manager, you don't remove acceptance criteria. This is done by the beneficiaries of the deliverable or the users of the deliverable, thereby eliminating this answer, making A the best answer in this scenario. So A is the best answer. And what is our reference in our PM book? Embed quality into processes deliverable principle, which is on page 43. You can go through that one for additional reading, okay? So the quality acceptance, the quality principle emphasizes building quality into processes and deliverables instead of relying only on the final inspection, okay? So this is very, very important. So what other mindset did we use when we're eliminating some of these answers? Be transparent and correct quality gaps, okay? Remember, as a project manager, you must have some ethical values, and one of them is transparent and honesty. So this is the correct mindset. Making A the best answer because the team should address non-conformance rather than force acceptance to the customer. So making A the best answer. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe button, and the notification button so that you are the first person to be notified each time a new video is uploaded on this channel. It will also help the channel to grow. It will also help the channel to produce more videos like this one. All right. Practice question number 16. The team asks how success will be measured. What should the project manager include? Okay. So the difficult level here is easy. So what does it mean? What is our problem statement in this case? The team is asking how success will be measured. This is very important. How do we measure success in the project? So this is what the team is asking. So let's go through the answers. Value, stakeholder satisfaction, quality, time, and also cost. This one is mouthful, but it's full of a lot of answers. Okay, we'll leave this one. Let's go to the second one. Only the number of meetings held. Okay, so the team is asking, how do we measure success? You cannot measure success based on the number of team meetings, because in some of the meetings, they don't even end up in resolving issues or even creating deliverables. So making this an incorrect answer. Then C, only the project manager's personal opinion. This cannot be used as a measure of success, personal opinion of a project manager. So we eliminate this one straight away. The mindset does not take project manager as a subject matter expert. And then D, only the original file names of deliverables. So file names, they don't show as success. So making A the best answer in this scenario. You need to measure success based on value, okay? Based on value, based on stakeholder satisfaction, based on quality, and also time or cost expectations. So this is the best answer in this scenario. And how do we reference our PM book? You focus on value principle, which is on page 40 for additional reading. So the focus on value principle, it emphasizes decisions that protect intended outcomes, benefits, stakeholder value, rather than simply producing outputs. So in a project environment, the best that you can do is to make sure that Every decision that you make is based on the outcome that you want to produce from the project, or is based on the value that you want to derive from the project. So what is our mindset? You need to define success in terms of value and outcomes, not in terms of personal opinions. Making A the best answer because the project success includes deliverable values, stakeholder satisfaction, and not just activity counts. All right. Practice question number 17. A resource is unavailable for a planned task. What should the project manager do first? So the question here is first. The difficulty is classified as easy. So what is our problem statement? A resource is unavailable. So the issue is a problem on the resource being unavailable. Okay. All right. So let us look at the answers here. Review resource options and the schedule impact. Okay. Makes sense. It's going to be unavailable. Cancel the project immediately. You don't cancel a project because the resources are unavailable. And it's unusual to have one project where you only have one resource, which might force you to cancel the project. So thereby we eliminate this one straight away. Tell the customer it is impossible without analysis. Okay, you don't just reject anything to the customer without analysis. You need to do analysis first. So that's not the correct mindset. So we eliminate this one straight away. Delete the task from the scope. You don't delete any task from the scope because a certain resource is not available. Okay, so thereby we eliminate this answer. So making A the best answer in this scenario, you need to review the resource options, okay, and also schedule impact. So whenever you see any question which is asking about what should be done first, the best that you can do is to make sure that you do a review first before you act on anything. So what is our reference in our resource, in our PM book? It's going to be a resource performance domain, all right? What does it say? The resource domain includes planning, okay, of resources, estimating, and also acquiring these resources. So what is the mindset that we're using when we're eliminating these answers? You need to analyze impact first, okay? Analyze impact before deciding or even escalating. This is a very important mindset. As a project manager, you don't just get an issue and then you start acting. Either get more information by doing an analysis or review, or even meeting stakeholders to get more information on that. Then later on, you decide. Making A the best answer because resource issues should be assessed, managed with schedule and also scope implications in mind. Making A the best answer in this scenario. If you want to understand more and to learn more about PMP mindset, I've created a full video on PMP mindset, about 30 mindset that you can go through. You can also watch it on my channel. I'll also leave a link in the description below. You can also download the 30 PMP mindset questions. I'll also leave a link in the description below. Practice question number 18. A risk response has been approved. What should the project manager do next? So this is very important. And the difficulty here is easy. So what is our problem statement? There's a risk response that has been approved. Okay. So let us go through the answers. Number A, implement the response and monitor its effective. So it's saying next. What should the project manager do next when a response has been approved? Okay, so we leave this one out for now. Close the risk without action. You don't close the risk without action. It has to go through the proper risk flow or analysis or risk management process. So thereby eliminating this answer. Wait until the risk becomes an issue. The moment you see the word wait, you are delaying the project. You are delaying the activity. You are delaying the response. So always make sure that you don't wait for anything, you act. So thereby, we have to eliminate this. You cannot wait for the risk to become an issue. You also need to come up with the responses and act on them. Then number 4, or which is D, ask the sponsor to ignore the risk. The responsibility of the project manager is to run the project. So you don't ask the sponsor to ignore. So this word ignore makes this answer incorrect, thereby making A the best answer in this scenario. So what is our reference in the PM book is risk performance domain, okay, which is on page 92. What does it say? The risk domain includes planning, risk management, okay, identifying risk, analyzing risk, planning and implementing responses too. So what is our mindset in this? Risk responses must be implemented, not only documented. So you must implement. So that is why you see in answer number A, we are implementing the risk. Because what are you supposed to do next if the response has been agreed? All right. Making A the best answer because a planned risk response only protects the project when executed and also monitored. Right. Practice question number 19. A project team wants more ownership of task decisions. Okay. What should the project manager do? Okay. So what is our problem statement? The project team, they want more ownership of task decisions. All right. So let us go through the answers now. Number A, empower the team with agreed boundaries. Okay, it makes sense because the team, they want more ownership on task decisions. So if you empower them, it might help this problem. Then B, make every decision personally. You see, this is not going to resolve the problem. The team, they want some ownership on making these decisions, and then you make every decision as a project manager. So definitely, this is eliminating the answer. The mindset is that a project manager is not a subject matter expert, but the team is. Then on C, stop the team from discussing alternatives. You don't do this in a project environment. Allow an environment where the team can air their views. They can also make some decisions, especially where it's a subject matter decision, thereby making this an incorrect answer. Then D, eliminate routine tasks, okay? Decisions to the sponsor. You want to escalate routine tasks decisions to the sponsor. This is the responsibility of the project manager. You cannot just push it to the sponsor like that, making this an incorrect answer. So the best answer here is A, which is empower the team within the agreed boundaries. You empower the team, but you give them boundaries because they want ownership and they also want to make some decisions. Making A the best answer. And what is our reference here? We reference our PMBOK on the build and empowered culture principle, which is page 53. All right, so what is the mindset that was applied here? You need to enable ownership, okay, and decision making at the right level. Remember, we are also giving boundaries. So we allow the team to make decisions, but with certain boundaries, which means they have to escalate to the project manager where necessary. A is the best answer because empowering your teams and more accountable responses when boundaries are clear, okay? So making A the best answer. Practice question number 20, okay? A project manager is asked to ignore a small compliance requirement to save time. What should they do? All right. So a project manager, what is the problem statement here? A project manager is asked to ignore a small compliance requirement to save time. All right. So this is the problem. There's an issue with time. Now we have to ignore some compliance. Number A, follow ethical and government requirements. Okay, this makes sense. Ignore it because it is small. Never ignore anything in a project environment. You need to confront the problem and look for solution. Ask the team to hide it in the documentation. This is against ethics. You don't hide things in a project environment. So making this incorrect. Deliver first and then hope for no. Project management, it's not about hoping. It's about planning and acting. So making A the best answer. So you need to follow governance, ethical, and also you need to follow ethical and governance expectations as a project manager. And what is our reference here? Is leader principles. Be an accountable leader principles in our PMBOK. And then the mindset that we used here, act ethically and transparent. As a project manager, you must be transparent and honest. Making A the best answer because accountable leadership does not bypass compliance issues. If you want me to create more videos based on what we've gone through in this video, you can reach out to me or you can let me know in the comment section below.